it's a special, it's a special Reality Gaze interview.
If you're wondering, if you're looking in the air and you're thinking, why do I see glitter? Why do I see, you could do this in we know what it's like being in Texas. Like, how did you get that? Like, where did that come from for you? Was that always inside of you?
Where does the confidence, where do you find your confidence?
I'm one of those people that I'm always quick to just like, I'm never going to say anything behind your back that I wouldn't say to your face. And I just carry myself in like a bitch way in a sense. And I just have to know that not everybody, thinks the same way I do, or, has the same values or opinions as me. And you know what? I'm going to do me, and I'm going to live my life the way I want to live it. And if you don't want to be a part of it, I'm not going to force you to be a part of my life. So I kind of just, take it with a grain of salt, and I carry my head in that, I'm a bitch. And if you don't like it, well, there's the door.
You keep your head up like a pig.
Just like a pig. That's right.
Yes.
Just like a pig.
I kind of know. I'm a little familiar with you're talking about by living your life in bitch mode. Just a little. I kind of do that. Just a bit.
Just a bit.
It's great. So I want to know, how did you get involved with stock shows? And what drew you to pig shows specifically, showing pigs?
So actually, okay, before I was born, my mom was actually pregnant with me at the state fair. And so I had already, started. I was already in the womb at my very first show.
Yes.
But then after I was born, my grandparents owned a very large show pig company here in South Texas. And, they were one of the few here where we live that had a show pig farm. And my grandma and grandma kept that for 20-something years. And then, I started getting into it. When I was little, at 3 years old, my grandpa was like telling my mom, hey, we've got to make sure we get him behind pigs. He has to do this. And so at 3, it was technically when I showed my very first pig. And then once I got into middle school, I was just like, hey, this is what I want to do. Like, why do we not have pigs yet? And so then, of course, my grandpa was like, all right, let's go. It's, it started. And so in the 3rd grade, I had my first set of pigs, and I think we did 5 that year and did really well. And it just progressed as I got older. It became more passionate and more, I became more involved in what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. And then by my senior year, I had 5 sows of my own. I was breeding my own pigs. And
oh my gosh.
Yeah. So it's become a very big deal for me. I'm very passionate about this. This is my life. And I would not change it for anything.
And did you know the rings while you were showing pigs? Or I know you talk about what the rings meant to you on the show, but I'm interested, how did you get connected with them?
So it's actually kind of like a weird way. So I actually showed against Keely and Cammie, and I never actually knew who they were. I knew of them because they wore the flag shirts. They were the flag girls. They were the red, white, and blue girls. So there's actually pictures of me and Cammie in the ring together, like showing against each other. But I didn't actually get introduced to them until I had already graduated high school. And Josh's uncle, I was working for him at the time, and he said, hey, my nephew breeds pigs. I think you really need to meet them. And so I drove over there one day and met them and talked to them for a long time. And then, a few days later, I called Jody and I said, hey, it's my sister's senior year. I want to get some pigs for her. And another kid that's showing for me, like, can I come look? And they said, absolutely. And so we went over there. Me and my grandma went over there and we looked at all their pigs, and I picked out 3 that I wanted. And from that point on, it was just, I was at Jody's house all the time. I wouldn't even call. Sometimes I would just show up and always bring Jody a Dr. Pepper, because there's one place in town that she absolutely loves them from. So I would stop and get a fountain Dr. Pepper for Jody, and then just show up, and she'd be like, oh, hey, what are you doing? And I'm like, hell, just came to hang out.
Can I just say, that is the thing. There is a best, like with the town I grew up in, the Huddle House had the best like fountain Diet Cokes or soda.
Grove Mart had the best Dr.
Like
Pepper.
that is it's a small town thing. You will go and people talk about it and they compete with like, no, it's this one is the best one.
And Dr. Pepper is a thing where I'm from too. I've been to the museum. Don't get me started.
Mhm.
God, no, you're
Yes.
not.
Don't get me but ooh,
So you just kind of fell in with them because they really seem like you guys that they respect you and you guys kind of treat each other like equals, and I love that. I love seeing that.
They are, it's like I've said before, they would give you the shirt off their back and everything that they have. Jody and Josh are just those kind of people, and their kids are amazing. I look at Cannon as my little brother. I absolutely love him. And of course, Keely and Cammie are right there. So I love the family, and they've taken me in like I'm one of their own. And you would never know that I'm not one of their kids if you saw us out in public, because we just all act like I'm family.
Yeah.
And with Cannon, like, that's something that was very meaningful, Jake, and I thought this kind of brotherly relationship you have, and I can't imagine, or I have to imagine that it's probably just, I know you've had some turmoil a little bit in your own family with you coming out and everything, and not that I'm not talking about Cannon's sexuality, I just mean like that's got to be healing though, to like be able to be just a loving, unconditional loving mentor to someone who's younger than you like that.
So with Cannon, it was actually kind of weird to start with. Cannon didn't really, when I first started coming around and, as I became more involved, Cannon was very quiet, didn't really talk to me, didn't want anything to do with me, didn't care what I had to say, was kind of just did his own thing. And really, honestly, in the last year that I've been coming around and just hanging out more and doing more with them, Cannon has now like gotten to the point where he'll listen to what I'm saying. He'll ask me for advice. He comes and like jokes around and plays, and he has this nickname for me right now, and he calls me Rat every time I show up. We still have not figured out why, but that's what he calls me. And so we've actually grown over the last year, and we've gotten very, very close, Cannon and I have. So
we call you the Cannon Whisperer, because when he's crying and upset, you're the one person that gets to him.
So it's either me or Cammie. And here recently I've been very surprised because it's been more me. And, I feel with Cannon doing that and coming to me, I feel very respected and very valued and important to Cannon. And, I feel like it's because he doesn't have a brother. Yes, he has Manu that's like a brother to him. And then, of course, he has me. But in reality, he has two sisters and he's the baby. And so I think that in his mind, it's nice to have me around where I'm around a lot. I'm there, and he can, talk to me, and I can sympathize where he's coming from and why he's feeling the way he's feeling. And so just for him to come to me and want to actually listen and talk to me is very comforting to me that he values my opinion that much.
Yeah. I would say you're obviously a very competitive person. And I'm the same. I think a lot of times as kids who grow up, especially LGBT kids, queer kids, you grow up and the one thing you do well is the thing that you get praised for. And then it makes you very competitive. I know that's for me. I was a musician and I was playing piano all the way through school, and that was my thing. And I would get super competitive because I was rewarded for kind of my achievements. And I was like, how do you see, what is competition to you, and what makes you so competitive?
So we learned very fast that this is something that I am very good at, and I do it very well. And, people who don't know me that meet me for the first time, whether it be at a pig show or I go to a breeder's house to look at pigs, whatever the case may be, they've always said that I have a true eye for this and that I'm very good at what I do. And that's part of why I, decided to start breeding my own and doing my own thing is, I watch the trends. I do I keep up with the trend, what's going on in the industry, who's got the hottest genetics. They call me the genetic junkie because, I have to know my genetics. But I get very passionate about it, and this is what I love to do. And So when it comes down to show season, they tell me I have a problem. I don't go buy expensive handbags or shoes or clothes. I buy pigs constantly, like year round. So, and I do that to stay on top of the trend, to get these kids out there to show. And, I say in a way that, I do for some of these kids, because it is about the kids and it is about them, and I want to see them win. But I have just as much time invested in these animals as the kids do. I'm there every day. I get to see what's going on, and I'm rooting for my kids to win. I'm rooting for Cannon to win. And so I get very competitive on that note, because it's like, that's one of my pigs that came out of my barn, and I want that pig to go win because that's good publicity for me. And so, when we win, I get very excited and it's all over social media. And then when we lose, I get very bitter and I'm like, you know what? Screw this. I'm going home.
I think, and that's what I kind of have the same feeling when I don't, like, even with board games, I'm super competitive. I have some friends who don't want to play board games with me because especially when I'm not winning, I don't feel good about myself.
She's a monster and she cheats. Tyler. That's
not gonna argue with you.
Basically it. Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You brought up social media. So have people been coming at you left and right since the show premiered? Like whether it's
do you have exes who like remember that time?
Or do you have guys sliding your DMs, or do you have like queer people that are like, oh my God, I show pigs too. There's something like that out there.
I actually don't. I have people that come in and have messaged on social media, but I have not had anybody crazy sliding into my DMs saying, oh, do you remember this time? Do you remember that time? And this, that, or what we did. That I haven't had happen yet, but it is crazy in the number of people that will ask, or say things on my social media. Like, I had somebody the other day message me and was like, hey, you're super cute. What's your Cash App? And I'm like, what do you want my Cash App for? Like, if you think there's going to be benefits behind this, it's not going to happen.
I'm so upset no one has asked for my Cash App. We're fucking broke. No one's giving us anything.
You know what? I think if I was 25, I think people would ask.
I would have no money and bad decisions, Tyler.
Yeah.
I did have somebody PayPal me $50 the other day with no strings attached. Just did it, and I was like, okay, that's cool. Like, thanks.
People are proud for you. They're proud for you of what you're representing, and also, we do have to ask, since you brought it up. Are you single? Are you in the pig pens? I don't know what y'all say.
I am very single. Very, very single.
Ooh, very single.
Oh, please don't hit on our guest.
No, I'm not.
So we have to ask. So I'm super curious. Like, has this has been? This show is. We originally, one of our good friends is Kate Casey. She's a podcaster, and I know that she just had the producer of Pig Royalty on the show.
Ben, yeah.
And originally, don't think a lot of people know, this show was produced to be about the Boleros, and then it kind of ended up coming into this kind of like, as we said, this Shakespeare. We literally compared the show to Shakespeare. I said it's
Shakespeare because it's two families alike in dignity, kind of.
Kind of. But it's like Montagues and Capulet.
And I've been saying that she's got 3 daughters like King Lear. And
we're very gay in our description.
It's full on. So,
was that a surprise the way it was edited? Did y'all expect this show to come out this way, where all of you reads just kind of like, what the fuck?
Okay, so when it first started, I actually was not a part of the show. I was just more of an extra. And the more and more they started to see me, and the producers started to see me, like, through edits, they were like, okay, wait, we need to add him. We need to get him more involved. And then, so through the season, everything's progressed. And honestly, when it came out, I texted one of the producers before it even episode 1 ever dropped. And I was like, I'm so nervous. I feel like I'm just going to be an extra in the show. Like, I don't know where my place is going to be. And she was like, stop worrying about that. That's not the case. And then when everything came out and everything unrolled, I was like, oh my gosh, okay, like I'm loving it. I love the way that the producers edited this, the way it was done. I'm not upset with it in any way. I think that they did a perfect job portraying each and every one of us in the manner that we wanted to be portrayed in. And, you know, there are some people on the show who say that the network edited them poorly, but you can't edit someone poorly, in my opinion, on her aspect, because the editors actually saved her, because there were so many things that they had to edit out because it was just so bad. The way she acted and the things she said were just so bad. And so they actually made her look very decent compared to what the original cut was. And, you know, I just feel like you're getting a taste of your own medicine of what and how you've treated people this whole time. And you just don't like seeing it on TV because now it's publicized. But you know what? If you're going to be a mean person, it's going to show. Sorry.
Tyler, I have no idea who you're talking about. Zero.
No idea who you're talking
No
about.
idea. Speaking of that person, it's you used a term a while back though that you say it's for the kids. Someone's catchphrase this season was "It's for the kids." It's everything's for the kids.
Okay.
So we can talk a little about Michelle Bolero, who it's no secret has been kind of, especially in the editing, she's been quite the villain, and her three wicked stepsisters, who are there with her, and it is interesting, and just like it was interesting that you said that, because you can't edit something that's not already there. So what she's having a problem with, it seems like to me, is they didn't make her come off in a good light. So that's what she had a problem with. Like you just said, she said all those things.
Yeah, like or good reality, or good or bad, whatever you want to call it. You know, it will be like in a housewife, someone will say something and then they cut to like, you know, whatever, Lisa Vanderpump making a face when she's like, I didn't make that face when she said, this is not that. This is literally just the words coming out of her mouth. So I think I think we watched a lot of reality TV, and I feel like it's been a pretty accurate. It feels a very accurate portrayal, because honestly, it's not as if Jody is seen as like an angel. Jody is nice, but Jody also, we've said this on our show,
she's tough.
She's tough. She is calculating. She's I forgot his name, but she wasn't just being nice when she went and talked to that one man with the two, what's his name? The two daughters.
Two daughters. I can't remember his name.
Yeah, I know who you're talking about, and I can't think of his name.
It's like Carter.
Justin Kane. Yeah.
Justin Kane. Mr. Kane.
Yeah.
When she says, and if you need anything, well, we're here. That's some shady Southern bullshit. Yeah. We know that. So, you know, it's smart business. So,
but I just want to say that you're exactly right in that. What did you know? I know you know the Rains. Did you know the Boleros personally before the show?
So before the show, I actually did. I showed again with their daughters. And even when I showed with their daughters, they just were not people that you approached. They were very self-absorbed. Like if we were at shows, there wasn't people that actually hung out with them or talked to them unless it was, you know, their friends from school, because they were just mean. And, you know, I didn't talk to them a whole lot. But actually, before we did this show, Michelle and her husband, Roy, came to my farm and bought pigs from me for Nugget. Oh, wow. So it's very interesting to see how it's all played out. And I think that there was a lot of back and forth, that she thought we were saying stuff and that wasn't the case. Because as I've watched the show, I'm still lost as to where Michelle thinks Jody did her wrong and needs to apologize. I haven't seen that yet.
Same.
So, you know, it is a little confusing, but I don't quite get it. But I did know them prior to this show starting.
See, this is what I love. Everything is this huge, epic. That's the thing. The producers and the way this is shot and the way they told these stories, it could have easily been told in a way that just kind of just presented you guys as it, and kind of like glommed over the details. But the production and I'm sure you probably watching the show, you're like, wow, this is so this is so much fun to watch because they're good storytellers. The producers know what they're doing.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So we're going to wrap up soon because we know you're busy. Because it's not just canon. You're working with a lot of you have like a whole crew of kids that you're teaching, right? Yeah.
Yes, I have a very large group of kids that I work with. So we actually just had another kid's family come to me and ask, and so we'll be working with them this summer. We're going to go to a few different jackpot shows. We're going to do State Fair again. So there's a few kids that I'll pick up, throughout the year.
Cool.
That's wonderful. Have there been any celebrities or anything that have tagged you, or do you know that have watched the show or fans of the show or anything, or yet?
I wish there was. I keep saying I wish Ellen DeGeneres would watch the show and like hashtag me or invite me to her show. That's like the ultimate dream right there, is to have Ellen call me and be like, come to the show. Or Nicki Minaj, to have her watch the show and call me. That would be cool, or tag me in something. But as far as like celebrities like tagging us or saying anything, not that I am aware of at this point. But who knows what could happen?
Who knows?
They should be. It's because it's the best show. Now our last little thing, we're gonna do a little rapid fire. And so we're just gonna say a cast member's name, and we just want you to say the first word that comes to your mind, honey.
Okay.
No judgment, just the first thing that comes out.
Yeah, whatever. Poodle, you can go first.
I'll start. Nugget.
Kind.
Aww. I love Nugget. He's a star, and you're a star.
We hope Nugget kind of comes over to your side. That's what
I'm trying. I'm trying to work that into the cards.
Oh, that would be amazing.
But no. So, Jody Ring.
Oh, love.
Aw.
What about Cammy?
Oh, hot.
Oh, there you go. All right. Thank you so much for playing rapid fire with us, Tyler.
Of course.
There's no prize.
Tyler, there's no prize.
My prize is being on the show. I love it. Thank you.
Everyone loses.
Wait, this isn't fucking elephant. The only thing Poodle and I could give someone is HPV. That's about it.
So anyway, so Tyler, we wish you all success, and we hope you guys get a second season out of this. I can't wait to find out what happens on Tuesdays.
I want to go to a pig show. My family's not far. I could go see my mama in Dallas.
I am so excited about what this could mean for the stock show industry for you guys. And hopefully,
also for queer country kids. Like I've talked about our show, our future FFA was huge where I was from. And I know there's these little gay boys and gay girls in there trying to show pigs and hogs. So, Tyler, tell everybody where they can find you and where they can obsess over you.
So you can find me on Facebook. I also have my Show Pig page, which is on Facebook too. Go watch my TikToks. It's Ty Parrish 52 on TikTok. I promote a lot of the show on my TikToks. You can also see me get a little crazy and wild on my TikToks as well. So go look at my social media. I'm all over it. 98% of the time I'm on social media. So,
well, we've said on the show multiple times, when and if we're ever in Texas, or if we do a live show in San Antonio, girl, we're taking you out for a treat.
Oh, if y'all do a live show in San Antonio, you have to have me on. I would love to come and do that. That would be great.
That'd be wonderful. All right, Tyler. Thank you so much,
Tyler.
Thank y'all for having me.
Y'all, that's it. Special shout out to Tyler Parrish. Thank you so much for hanging with us. We really appreciate it. We also have an interview coming up with Jody and the Reens. We'll be dropping that on Wednesday after the show because, Pig Royalty, the finale, airs on Tuesday on Discovery Plus. So, y'all, if you are not watching Pig Royalty, I can't help you. So check it out on Tuesday, and Poodle and I will be watching it. And remember, y'all keep going, Queens.